Hi guys, a very good afternoon. We start with the most important chapter of your SYBAF syllabus, Final Accounts of Company. This is a common chapter for SYBAF Semester 4 Financial Accounting as well as TYBCOM Semester 5 Accountancy and Financial Management, which we again call it as FA. So common chapter for SYBAF and TYBCOM. Now guys, before I start this chapter, in the chapter Redemption of Preference Shares which I did with you all, I have put two videos where I have made you understand how to prepare the balance sheet of a company as per the Companies Act 2013. Now, those videos are common for all the chapters where you have to prepare company balance sheet. So what you will assume is this is not the first chapter of company final accounts, first class of company final accounts. This is the third video of company final accounts. You will go back to that video if you don't remember the balance sheet. That's why I made you put those balance sheet in redemption of preference shares. BCom students, you all have also done this in redemption of preference shares and you all are doing it here also. So please understand that balance sheet because when I am doing company final accounts, initial sums are only on balance sheet. We know we are doing final accounts since FYGC. First time we are doing final accounts of corporate, that is companies. What are the two main objects of preparing final accounts? It applies to same sole trader, partnership, companies, everybody. Two main objects of preparing final account is to know the profit or loss of the business and second to know the financial position. To know the financial position we prepare balance sheet and to know the profitability, that means whether we have made a profit or loss, we prepare trading and P&L. Now you have to do the same thing here, but the name of the chapter is company final accounts. You have to do it in the format prescribed by the Companies Act. You have to follow that format. Now as I told you, two objects. One is to know the profit or loss, for which we have to prepare a vertical P&L statement where there is a simple format but a different format. Not the same what you all have done in management accounting in SY. It is different. So that P&L part I'll come after few days because initial 5 to 6 sums or maybe 7-8 sums are based only on balance sheet. I'll be devoting around 4-5 videos only for balance sheet from here onwards, and then after you all are used to balance sheet, and then I'll take full-fledged sum where there is P&L and balance sheet. Guys, this chapter is very important. Guaranteed 15 marks ka question. Of course, you all are very lucky that in every question you all have internal option. So you will be getting question from every chapter. But this is one of the most important chapter, not only from a student perspective point of view, but also in practical life when you go in corporates. This is the balance sheet which is actually made in this format by respective companies. Okay, now see, coming back to company final account. As I told you, initial few sums, few videos will be only on balance sheet. So forget profit and loss account. Forget profit and loss account for few days. Now see what you are supposed to do. Previous two videos, I made you understand the base of balance sheet where there was just presentation of the balance sheet in company format. There was no adjustment, there was no additional information. Now, here onwards, you will be given in the question trial balance along with certain adjustments. Trial balance along with certain adjustments. Now, when I say adjustments, there will be few adjustments which are just from the point of view of presentation and information. And there will be few adjustments where you have to give double effect. So it depends upon the information given in the question. I'm going very slow with this session, and in fact I'll have to go very slow, and in each video we will be able to cover one sum only. When we come to full-fledged sum, maybe I might take two videos to cover one sum, but that we will see that time. So right now we are doing sums based on balance sheet. Now, since I told you, you all know the format of balance sheet. Those who don't know, please see the first two videos. I have uploaded those two videos in this chapter also. Okay, because many of you all must have forgotten the format. So once you get these two videos ka concept properly, you know this format very well. Okay, now let's read the sum. I'm straight away starting with the sum because you all are used to the format. Then after reading the sum, I'll make you put marks wherever required. I will discuss the full format and I will tell you how to decide how many lines to leave for each notes to accounts and how to decide which notes to account we have to prepare. Okay, don't worry, students have a fear factor for this chapter, but you all are my students. I will make it very, very simple for you. Okay, chalo. Let's take question number 3 from our sheet. Question number 1 and 2 is just balance sheet preparation that you all can just see the videos. First two videos I mean. Okay, chalo. Let's see. Question number 3. I'll first read the sum. One or two sessions I'll do like that, and then side by side later on I'll keep on marking which item goes where. Okay, let's see. Following is the trial balance of Integrated Electronics Limited as on 31st March 17. Cash in hand, cash at bank, share capital 9% debentures, bank OD Union Bank, investments, bill receivable, trade, sundry debtors, creditors, security deposit, P&L, security premium, interest on debentures, accrued and due, goodwill, land and building, brackets may given cost 250. Put a mark on land and building. Next, plant and machinery cost 5 lakhs. Put a mark on plant and machinery. Furniture cost 80. Put a mark on furniture. So 3 marks. These are for presentation. Then provision for tax, advance tax. Now listen. Provision for tax is 120,500. Advance tax is 1 lakh. Now as per the format of Companies Act, as per the provisions of Companies Act, wherever there is provision for tax and advance tax, you have to show it net. Net means how? If provision ka amount is more, advance tax you will deduct from provision. If advance tax ka amount is more and provision ka amount is less, you will deduct the provision from advance tax. अभी देखो provision for tax कितना है 120,500, advance tax कितना है 1 lakh. So can I say provision for tax is more? Put a mark on provision for tax. Put a mark on provision for tax. Okay. Bills payable, general reserve, stock in trade, capital reserve. Following further particulars are available. Authorized share capital of the company was 30 lakh divided into 3 lakh equity shares of 10 each. You all have done this in SY. Authorized share capital. Authorized share capital is just for presentation in the balance sheet. It doesn't affect the total of balance sheet. What is authorized? You all are doing since SYBC. Authorized share capital means the maximum number of shares the company can issue. The maximum number of shares the company can issue. No company can issue shares more than the authorized capital. This is for presentation. You all know that, but I will do it with you all. Okay, we have done that earlier. Here, there is no need to put a mark as it is for presentation. Okay, then sundry debtors which are all unsecured and considered goods would include 90,000 due for more than 6 months. A very crucial adjustment. Actually, you cannot use the word adjustment. It is information which has to be classified. So what you do? Just put 2 marks on debtors. This is the mark not for adjustment but for presentation. Put 2 marks on debtors. Later I'll tell you. I am doing the full sum with you. Don't worry. You will get the sum very nicely. Go with me. Next. Investments represent 2,500 equity shares in X Limited of 10 each. 4 per share called and paid out. Again, this is more for presentation. Just put a mark on investment. Only thing is you have to be careful where it is adjustment to be given to effects and where it is adjustment just for presentation. Bill receivable discounted with the bank not matured till the balance sheet date amounted to 15,000. Now C and D will have one additional effect. What is that? I'll tell you when I come to that. Right now for the D adjustment there is no need to put a mark. Okay. you are required to prepare balance sheet of Integrated Electronic Limited as on 31st March 17 as per Companies Act. Ignore previous year's figures. Now if you see, this is BCom ka board question. Now when I say ignore previous year's figures, in practical life, I've discussed it earlier. In practical life, you have to prepare balance sheet where you have to give current year ka figure and last year ka figures. But that is not going to come in your syllabus. Your syllabus will have only 1 year ka data. Okay guys, now listen. I have made the balance sheet ka format and I have also made notes to account so that I don't waste time in recording. But I will discuss with you how you will do it. First, in your question sheet, you all have the balance sheet format with you. In the books of Integrated Electronic Limited, balance sheet as on 31st March 17. You can also write like that. Balance sheet of Integrated Electronic Limited as on 31st March 17. That is also fine. Copy down the full balance sheet, which same you all have done in the first two videos. Okay. After that, notes to accounts. Now listen. Notes to account you will prepare in the order of balance sheet items according to the data of the question. Now guys, listen. What I will do. After this, we will read all the items again and we will decide which item goes where according to the first two videos ka classification. And then I will tell you how to leave lines and how to decide which notes to make. Okay, see now. First two items, cash in hand, cash at bank. We know very well, both go in cash and cash equivalent. Again, I am repeating, those are confused, please see the first two videos. Okay, so write there C and C or whatever you want to write. I'll repeat, first two items will be a part of cash and cash equivalent. Next, share capital. As I told you, every sum mein there will be note number 1 of share capital. Isme there is authorized also, so we have to consider that when we start the posting. Then 9% debentures. Debentures is a part of long-term borrowing. So write there LTV. Share capital, debentures, long-term borrowing. Bank overdraft. Brackets में they have given you Union Bank. कौन सा भी बैंक रहे? You all know, you all are doing since SYBAF. Bank overdraft is a short-term liability. So bank overdraft will be a part of short-term borrowings. Okay, sorry, bank overdraft will be a part of short-term borrowings. So you can write the STB. Debentures के सामने LTB, long-term borrowing. Bank OD के सामने STB. Then see. Next, investments. Now, if you see the format, there are two investments. Current assets में current investment, that is short term. You all know the logic. And non-current में there is non-current investment, that is long term. If nothing is mentioned, if they give you only investment, it is always assumed as long term. So write there NCI, non-current investment. Okay. Nothing mentioned, it will be long term, that is non-current investments. Next, bill receivable debtors. We know very well, both are a part of trade payable. Bill receivable debtors both are a part of trade payable. Next, creditors, bill receivable debtors, trade receivable, creditors, trade payable. Now see security deposit. Now, when you decide the effect of security deposit, you have to first see whether it is on the debit side or credit side. When you give the effect of security deposit, you have to see first whether it is debit side or credit side. Either 4,000 is there on the debit side. Debit side means you have paid deposit. See what happens when you take a landline phone connection, or when you take a postpaid mobile connection, or when you take a new electricity or gas connection, you have to pay certain deposit which is refundable at a later stage, or it gets adjusted against your bills of futures. So if I give deposit, that is how I give put here, it will be treated as long-term loans and advances. It will be treated as long-term loans and advances. This is long-term loans and advances on the asset side wala. Had I taken it then it would have been a part of non-current liabilities, that is other long-term liabilities. But it is on the debit side, that means you have given. Credit hota, that means you have taken. So this is given. So asset side wala long-term loans and advances. Then P&L, we know reserves, security premium reserves, interest on debentures accrued and due. Interest payable, this will be a part of other current liabilities. Okay, so you can write the OCL, P&L security ke samne, you can write the RNS. Goodwill, intangible asset, you all know that. Land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, tangible chair to side pe likhte jao, whichever way you like, T or TA, whatever you want to write. Provision for tax. Provision for tax will be a part of short-term provisions. Advance tax. Now listen. As I told you, advance tax will be deducted from short-term provision. If advance tax was more, then it would have gone in short-term loan and advances. But because provision is more, it will be deducted. The advance tax will be deducted from short-term provisions. Next, bills payable, trade payable, general reserve, reserves and surplus, stock in trade will be a part of current assets, B part, that is inventory, and the last capital reserve will be reserves and surpluses. Okay guys, now listen. Understand this. I'll go very slow and I'll explain you in starting all the sums. Once I do that for few sums, you will get used to it. Now see, what is my first item? Shareholders fund. In that, first share capital. Always there is a note of share capital. Now, they have given you authorize. So just writing authorize will consume 3 lines and issued will take another 2 to 3 lines. So what you do? Share capital, give the heading note 1 and keep 6 lines. Be ready with this format, because then what we can do now, we can go as per the question ka order and just fill in the blanks. So note 1 share capital 6 lines. Why 6 lines? Authorize के लिए 2 to 3, issued के लिए 2 to 3. And don't worry, confusion है, एक दो लाइन ज़्यादा छोड़ दो, it's okay, not to worry. So note 1 share capital 6. Now see, reserves and surpluses. Just count how many items are there of reserves and surpluses. Around 4 are there, correct? So 4 item है plus 1 line total का, keep around 5 lines. Heading के बाद 5 line, 5 to 6 lines. Okay, एक दो लाइन ज़्यादा छोड़ दो, कोई problem नहीं. Next is what? Long-term borrowing. We have debentures, only one item, 1 to write, 1 for total. So long-term borrowings, 2 lines. Short-term borrowing, there is bank overdraft, only one item, 2 lines. After that, trade payable, there is creditors and bills payable, 2 lines and 1 for total, 3 to 4 lines. Trade payable, 3 to 4 lines. Okay. Other current liability, there is only one item, interest accrued and due. 1 line for item, 1 line for amount, 2 to 3 lines. Then you have short-term provisions. What we have to do? We have to write short provision for tax, and from that we have to deduct advance tax. I'll repeat. Agar advance tax zyada hota, this would have not come. There would be a note for short-term loans and advances, where we would have written advance tax and then deducted provision. When I come back to this posting, I'll again come with that. Okay. Then fixed assets, tangible. Now see, there are 3 tangible: land and building, plant and machinery, furniture. Brackets mein there is additional information. I have made you put a mark for all 3 of them. So har ek ka 2 line, 3 2s are 6, 1 or 2 extra. So around 7 to 8 line for tangible. Then you have intangible. Goodwill है. Goodwill का नोट अगर नहीं भी बनाया और यहाँ पे लिख दिया ब्रैकेट्स में goodwill and answer outside, that is also fine, but it's better, we have time. खाली बैलेंस शीट के सब में बहुत टाइम होता है. So goodwill के लिए we'll make a small note, 2 lines का intangible, we will write goodwill. Okay. Then capital WIP not there. What is capital WIP? Fixed asset which you are constructing, it is not yet over, it is under construction. Non-current investment, there is investment with a mark breakup. तो वो जो देखो C point का breakup है ना, that we have to write it. So investment, non-current investment, you will put around 3 lines for presentation. Then long-term loans and advances. As I told you, there is security deposit, only one item, so leave 2 lines. Other non-current asset, these are fictitious, जो ये sum में नहीं है. Then current investments, not there. Inventory, stock in trade. There is no need to make a note because heading itself inventory means stock. We will put it in the balance sheet. उसके लिए note का जरूरत नहीं है. Trade receivable. Now guys, be careful. See that adjustment number 2. They have mentioned unsecured and considered good. That means considered good means what? There is no question of bad debts and RDD. So we will put that in bracket unsecured and considered good. And see, they have given you 90,000 due for more than 6 months. This is presentation which will require 2 to 3 lines. So what you do? Sundry debtors and bill receivable will come under the heading trade receivable. You all keep around 5 to 6 lines. So trade receivable may keep around 5 to 6 lines. 2 to 3 lines for presentation and 1-2 lines for brackets. See why I am saying 5 to 6, not exact 5 6, because it depends upon your handwriting also. So don't worry, you can just leave 1 or 2 lines extra as compared to what I am telling you. Okay. Next. Cash and cash equivalent. There is cash in hand, cash at bank. So 3 lines, 2 items. Short-term loans and advances, not there. Other current assets, not there. Then see, as I mentioned, point number C will affect investment ka note, as well as C and D both are contingent liability. What is contingent liability? You all have done earlier. Contingent liability is a liability which may or may not arise. Now, because you all are not sure whether it has to be paid or no, you cannot treat it as an actual liability. So, in this chapter, after making all the notes, the last note will be contingent liability. Till here there are 13 notes. So, last note number 14 will be contingent liability. Note number 14 will be contingent liability. When I come to the posting of this, I'll again explain in detail. Got it guys? Now listen. I'm starting the trial balance. I'll pause the video. What you all do? ये पूरा format देख लो and be ready with this format. You all can pause the video and see the format. Be ready with the format. Once this format is ready, the rest is just fill in the blanks and taking the clear. So you all pause the video and then I'm starting the sum. Okay, format ready करके रखो, then you go. चलो guys, let's start. Let's go as per the flow of the question. Because what happens ना guys, ये अगर format ready रखा ना, then you have to just fill in the blanks. Format ready रखा ना, then you have to just do fill in the blanks. Let's start. Cash in hand, cash at bank. Can I say both are a part of cash and cash equivalent? Come to cash and cash equivalent. Cash in hand, no adjustment. Straight away outside 19,500. Cash at bank, no adjustment. Outside 34,300. Now guys see, share capital. Adjustment number A में they have given you separate authorized capital. Adjustment number A में they have given you separate authorized capital. If authorized capital was not there, we would have started with authorized, issued and subscribed. But authorized capital is there, so we will give the heading first. Authorized capital. What is authorized capital? You all know. The capital which the company is authorized to collect from the shareholders. No company can issue shares more than the authorized capital. And only authorized capital is just for presentation. It doesn't come in the total. Now let's do the presentation. See what it says, A adjustment. It is 30 lakh divided into 3 lakh shares of 10 each. That means company cannot issue more than 3 lakh shares of 10. So what you will do? You will write that 3 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. यहाँ पे fully paid नहीं लिखना. So this is 30 lakhs, and what you will do after 30 lakhs, put 2 lines like that. You all know very well. Why 2 lines? Because 2 lines means when you do the total, you will not take this 30 lakhs. This is just for presentation. When you take the total, you will not take into consideration this 30. तो देखो 2-3 लाइन इधर ही चला गया. Now authorize is written separately. So now give the heading issued and subscribe. Now give the heading issued and subscribe. Now issued and subscribed will be that what is given in the question का balance sheet. Trial balance. कितना है? 9,20,000. Now they have just told you 920. एक शेयर कितने का है मेंशन नहीं किया, but you can issue only what is authorized. कितना एक शेयर? 10 रुपए का. When you write share capital, whether authorized, whether issued, you have to write the number unless and until the face value is not given to you. So amount कितना है? 9,20,000. एक शेयर 10 रुपए का है. 920 divided by 10 gives you 92,000 shares. So what you will do? You will write like that. 92,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. Now here you will write fully paid. Fully paid मतलब एक शेयर 10 रुपए का है and all the shareholders have paid 10 rupees. एक शेयर 10 रुपए का है and all the shareholders have paid 10 rupees. So that gives you 9,20,000. That gives you 9,20,000. Clear with this, guys? So 920 is my share capital which will go in the main balance sheet. But we will first finish the full posting, full adjustments. We will do the total of all the notes and then एक साथ हम लोग transfer करेंगे. Clear? Next, 9% debentures. We discussed 9% debentures is a part of long-term borrowing. So come to long-term borrowing. 9% debentures कितना amount है? 2 lakh. So 9% debentures 2 lakh. Next, bank overdraft. We've discussed many times. You are doing since SYBAF. Bank overdraft is a part of short-term borrowing. So come to short-term borrowing. Note 4. Bank overdraft. Now because they have mentioned the name of the bank, bracket में लिख दो, otherwise चलेगा. But it's given, so write it. Union Bank कितना है? 2 lakh. Sorry, this was 3 lakh. Debentures was 3 lakh. Overdraft is 2 lakhs. Sorry, debentures was 3 lakh. Overdraft is 2 lakhs. Okay. Next, investments. As I told you, nothing mentioned. So investments will be a part of non-current investments. अभी देखो, C part देखो. A part is done. What you can do? A adjustment को टिक कर दो, हो गया. C में आ जाओ. Investments represents 2,500 equity shares of X Limited of 10 each, 4 per share called and paid up. Now इसका effect will come at 2 places. I'll tell you one by one. सबसे पहले non-current investments में you'll have to write a presentation giving the breakup of that. So what you will do? What it says, 2,500 equity shares. So what you will do? Write like that. Investment in 2,500 equity shares. कौन सी कंपनी का है? X Limited of rupees 10 each, rupees 4 called up. Now see here, दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव इन्वेस्टेड इन समबडी एल्स का कंपनी। ये जो हमारा शेयर कैपिटल है, शेयर होल्डर्स ने हमारी कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट किया है, इसके लिए इट्स अ लायबिलिटी, वी आर सपोज टू रीपे दैट। लेकिन ये हमारा पैसा हमने किसी और कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट किया है, आगे जाके हमें मिलेगा, therefore it's an asset. Now see 2500 shares of 10 but called a 4 ही है, that means अभी तक 4 रुपया ही पे किया है। 2500 into 4 कितना हो गया 10,000। उधर देखो इन्वेस्टमेंट का अमाउंट कितना है 10,000, so you will write 10,000। so this is the breakup of that 10,000। this is the breakup of that 10,000। now guys listen very carefully, ध्यान से देखो। you have invested in 2500 equity shares, you have invested in 2500 equity shares। 10 रुपए का शेयर 4 कॉल्ड अप, 10 रुपए का शेयर 4 कॉल्ड अप, दैट मीन्स आगे जाके 6 रुपया मिलेगा। मिलेगा मतलब कंपनी जिसमें हमने इन्वेस्ट किया है एक्स लिमिटेड विल रिकवर फ्रॉम अस। नाउ लिसन, दिस विल बी अ कंटिंजेंट लायबिलिटी। ये लॉजिक मैं तुमको बता रहा हूं, वेरी फ्यू पीपल विल एक्सप्लेन यू इन डिटेल व्हाई इट इज अ कंटिंजेंट लायबिलिटी। 10 रुपए का शेयर है, मैंने 4 रुपया भरा है, आगे जाके मुझे 6 रुपया भरना है, तो इट्स माई लायबिलिटी। बट आई कैन सेल पार्टली पेड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, आई कैन सेल पार्टली पेड इन्वेस्टमेंट। तो अगर मैंने फुल कंपनी ने 6 रुपया भरने को बोला, उसके पहले अगर मैंने बेच दिया तो आई एम नॉट सपोज टू पे एनीथिंग। और जब भी कंपनी मुझे बाकी का 6 रुपया भरने को बोलेगी, वो टाइम पे अगर ये इन्वेस्टमेंट मेरे पास है, इफ आई होल्ड दोज इन्वेस्टमेंट दैट टाइम, देन इट्स माई लायबिलिटी। आई रिपीट, 10 रुपया है, मैंने 4 रुपया पे कर दिया, आगे जाके मुझे 6 रुपया पे करना है। द डे कंपनी टेल्स मी टू पे दैट 6 रुपीज, इफ आई होल्ड आई हैव टू पे, एंड इफ आई हैव सोल्ड, जिसको बेचा वो भरेगा, मुझे नहीं भरना है। तो as of today I don't know whether I'll be having the shares or no, so if I don't know, it is not my actual liability, and if it is not your actual liability, it becomes contingent liability. D part is also contingent. How? I'll tell you when I come to that. So note for contingent liability, you can write a or 1. What you will write? See the words. Liability for partly paid investment in shares of X Limited। liability for partly paid investment in shares of X Limited कितना है 2500 शेयर्स है। अभी देखो 4 रुपया भरा है, मतलब भरने का कितना आएगा अगर आया तो 6, so 2500 into 6, that gives me 15,000। so 15,000 becomes my contingent liability। so 15,000 becomes my contingent liability। getting it guys? 15,000 मेरा contingent liability होएगा। clear with this? because why contingent liability? if I hold on the day company tells me to pay, I have to pay। अगर उसके पहले मैंने बेच दिया, मुझे भरना ही नहीं है। तो as of today, the day when I am preparing the balance sheet, I am not sure whether I have to pay or no, therefore it becomes contingent liability। clear guys? okay, so now you all can tick पूरा का पूरा C adjustment। तो C adjustment भी हो गया। so A done, C done। next, bill receivable sundry debtors। bill receivable sundry debtors, we know it's a part of trade receivable। let's keep the habit of writing debtors first। now debtors I have made you put mark, correct? अभी देखो उसके पहले see the B adjustment, sundry debtors which are all unsecured and considered good। so first let's write that in brackets। so what you will do, sundry debtors put in brackets all considered unsecured and good. That means there is no bad debts and RDD. And underline datas, there is no bad debts and RDD. This is just for presentation. Now guys, listen very carefully. As per the Companies Act, this is compulsory as per the Companies Act. As per the Companies Act, when you write datas in your notes to accounts, you have to show the presentation. Kya presentation? That when datas comes into picture, datas comes into picture only when there is credit sales. And credit sale में there is a period 1 month, 2 month, 3 months. So अगर आज मैंने किसी कस्टमर को क्रेडिट पे गुड्स बेचा है डेटस को 6 महीना हो गया, money is not come, I have to show that presentation separately. So that is the reason they have given you. देखो मेरा टोटल डेटस कितना है ट्रायल बैलेंस में 550, उसमें से सी एडजस्टमेंट नंबर बी 90,000 is due for more than 6 months. That means टोटल मेरा डेटस से लेना ऑन द लास्ट डे इज 550, उसमें से 90,000 को 6 महीने के ऊपर हो गया. So what you have to do? You have to just show the breakup. How will you do? Sundry debtors, we'll write here outstanding for more than 6 months. कितना दिया है? 92,000. Breakup है, you will put it in the inner column. Outstanding for more than 6 months 90,000. एंड जो बाकी है, बाकी कैसे पता चलेगा? एक लाइन छोड़ दो, बाहर लिखना 550, अगेंस्ट द बैलेंस यू विल राइट अदर्स, और अदर्स होगा तुम्हारा 550 minus 92,000. ओके, आई हैव डन इट, बट लेट मी चेक बिकॉज कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया. गेटिंग इट गाइस? सो you get half a mark or 1 mark for doing this. Very important, common. You can't say adjustment. Adjustment is purely in the form of presentation. Because adjustment वो होता है जहाँ हम लोग 2 इफेक्ट देते हैं या 3 इफेक्ट देते हैं. But this is presentation. So I'll repeat. Debtors all considered unsecured and good. Presentation के लिए question में दिया हुआ है. Then break up the debtors. Outstanding for more than 6 months. They'll give you only. अगर कुछ भी नहीं दिया है, then it is others. फिर ये ब्रेकअप लिखने का जरूरत भी नहीं है, but they'll give you mostly. So outstanding for more than 6 months 92. अभी देखो टोटल डेटस 550 है. So next line बाहर लिखो 550. 550 minus 92 gives you 458. So others is 458. Getting it? B adjustment को भी टिक करो. A done, B done, C done. Later on we'll see what is to be done for B. Okay? Or what pending was there? Bill receivable. Bill receivable is 1,40,000. Now listen ना, अगर bill receivable नहीं होता, खाली डेटर्स होता, I would have written everything in the second column, मतलब बाहर का main column. But because there are 2 items, I will use the inner column. And don't worry, if there is a confusion regarding inner outer, don't worry, final total में ध्यान रखना था. Clear guys? So I'll repeat. Debtors brackets में considered unsecured and good. Show the presentation. Outstanding for more than 6 months 92,000. Others 4,58,000. Clear? चलो continuing further. Creditors. Creditors we know very well. It's a part of trade payable. No adjustment. Adjustment नहीं है तो I take it outside. Creditors 2,40,000. Security deposit, as I told you, it is there on the debit side. That means मैंने दिया है. अगर credit में होता I would have taken it, it would have been liability. But ये debit में है तो it's an asset. And what logic I told you? It's in the form of deposit. So when you get later on you will get it back. So it is an asset. But later on future में मिलेगा कभी पता नहीं. So we put it under the heading long-term loans and advances. So long-term loans and advances, security deposit, that is 4,000. Long-term loans and advances, security deposit 4,000. Profit and loss. Profit and loss, we know it's a part of reserves and surplus. And what I told you in those basic sums, it will go in reserve, but keep that habit, P&L in the end. Now listen, there are 4 items of reserves and surpluses. So we have the note. So what you do, come to the second last line. Second last line में लिखना profit and loss, that is 2,90,000. Second last line में लिखना 2,90,000. Clear? Then security premium. Security premium, you all know. You all have done in SYJC also issue of shares. When you issue shares at premium, the excess amount over and above the face value is premium, which gets credited to security premium. You all have done in other chapters also. So security premium is a part of reserves and surpluses, that is 90,000. Again guys, I am repeating, don't see this video till the time you have not seen those 2 basic sums of preparation of balance sheet. Next, interest on debentures accrued and due. This is interest on debentures payable outstanding expense. Therefore, it will be a part of other current liability. So come to other current liability. Interest on debentures accrued and due, that is 6750. Interest on debentures accrued and due, that is 6750. Goodwill, we know it is an intangible asset. Again I'll repeat, in case you all don't make a note, put it directly, to bhi chalega, but as far as possible try to make a note. Okay, so intangible assets may we'll write goodwill, that is 65,000. Okay, now see, can I say land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, all 3 are assets? But which assets? Tangible fixed asset. Why tangible? You can feel, see and touch. FYJC ka basic. Now guys, see what you will do. When you make company balance sheet, you are supposed to present fixed assets at cost. You are supposed to present fixed asset at cost after deducting depreciation. So abhi dekho, land and building, their brackets may given you cost 250 and bhar amount hai 190. So what you will do? I'll write here. Land and building, put in brackets at cost. Kitna? Put in the inner column 250. Put in the inner column 250. Now listen. Outside figure is 190. So what you will do? Here also you will write outside 190. Here also you will write outside 190. Now see. Cost is 250. मैंने खरीदा था 250 में, आज उसकी वैल्यू 190 है, ये टैंजिबल है. That means what? Difference of 60 is nothing but your accumulated depreciation. So against this 60 you will write less depreciation or accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depre means total depreciation provided right from the day when you purchase this asset till current day. Total depre provided right from the day when you purchase the asset till the current date. Clear? So I'll repeat. Cost को inner column में लिखो, outside figure को outer column में लिखो, and the difference will be depre. Let's do the same thing for furniture and plant and machinery. Next क्या है? Plant and machinery. Same way. Plant and machinery at cost कितना है? 5 lakhs. ओके, एक लाइन छोड़ दो. आउटर कॉलम में कितना अमाउंट है? 3 लाख. So 5 lakh minus 3 lakh, डिफरेंस कितना है? 2 लाख. 5 lakh का 3 lakh कैसे हुआ? 2 lakh is my depreciation. So again the same thing. Let's accumulated depreciation, that is 2 lakhs. Accumulated depreciation, that is 2 lakhs. Clear, guys? Same thing for the last tangible asset, that is furniture. Furniture at cost. कितना है furniture at cost? 80,000. Leave one line. Next line कितना है बाहर का अमाउंट? 45. 80 became 45. So कितना कम हुआ? 35. When a fixed asset reduces, we don't know the reason. It has to be nothing but depreciation. So less depreciation. Again, accumulated depreciation. Half mark or 1 mark for just this presentation. You all have 15 marks ka sum. BCom students 20 marks ka sum. Half mark to 1 mark or maximum 2 marks if it is a 20 mark sum for presentation of this. So I'll repeat: land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, all three. Put cost in the inner column. The trial balance amount which is given in the debit column will come outside, and the difference will be your accumulated debris. 250 minus 190, 60 accumulated debris for land and building. 5 lakh minus 3 lakh, 2 lakh accumulated debris for plant and machinery. 80 minus 45, 35,000 accumulated depreciation for furniture. Okay, next, provision for tax, and next line we have advance tax. What I told you, because provision for tax is more, you will deduct advance tax from provision for tax. Where it will go? Note number 7, short-term provisions. Come to short-term provisions. Right there. Provision for tax. How much is the amount? 120,500. Put it in the inner column. There is no other short-term provision. So in this sum, even if you put it outside, it's fine. Okay. And then you have advance tax 1 lakh. So from this, you will deduct advance tax 1 lakh. So you get 2,500. So 120,500 minus 1 lakh gives you 2,500. As per the Companies Act provisions, advance tax and short-term provision have to be netted off before you give the effect. Again, I'll repeat. Provision for tax is more than advance tax, so it comes in short-term provision. अगर मेरा advance tax ज़्यादा होता, you would have made a note for short-term loans and advances. Advance tax inner column में आता and short-term provision उसमें से minus होता. Keep that in mind. Okay? Hope it's clear. Okay? चलो next. Bills payable. It's a part of trade payable. कितना amount है bills payable का? 30,000. So bills payable 30,000. Next, general reserve. We know it is reserves and surpluses. Come to reserves and surpluses. General reserve, that is 1 lakh. Next, stock and trade. As I told you, in the main balance sheet we have inventories under the head current assets. So no need for the note. Straight away come to the main balance sheet. Stock का amount is 849,450. So inventory के सामने फर्स्ट कॉलम में लिखो 849,450. इसका कोई भी नोट नहीं है, so नोट नंबर में डैश. And you all know I made you do. You will make 2 amount का column. Already told you in the earlier class. Okay, so 849,450 you will put in the first column. And last क्या है? Capital reserve. We know it is reserves and surpluses. So come here. capital reserve, that is 10,000. Now guys see, यहाँ पे ना रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस में भी ऑर्डर होता है, बट तुम्हारे सिलेबस के लिए इट इज नॉट दैट इम्पोर्टेंट, बट एज आई टोल्ड यू जस्ट सी टू इट दैट पीएनएल एंड में आना चाहिए, जस्ट सी टू इट दैट पीएनएल एंड में आना चाहिए. क्लियर गाइस, गॉट इट, एवरीथिंग इज डन. अभी एडजस्टमेंट देखो, ए डन, बी डन, सी डन. डी वाला देखो, एसवाईजीसी का एडजस्टमेंट. बिल रिसीवेबल डिस्काउंटेड विद द बैंक not matured till the balance sheet date amounted to 15,000. बिल डिस्काउंट किया है, मैच्योर नहीं हुआ. What is the process of bill discounting? Let me check the duration. What is the process of bill discounting? Today I draw a bill on my debtors. Today I draw a bill on my debtors. Okay, debtors पे bill draw किया. Suppose the period is 3 months. So I will get the money after 3 months. I will get the money after 3 months. Now I am in urgent need of money. I go to the bank, get the bill discounted, पैसा immediately मिल जाता है. I go to the bank, get the bill discounted, पैसा immediately मिल जाता है. Then my customer will pay to the bank. Now listen, if my customer pays to the bank, I don't have to pay. But if my customer doesn't pay, I will have to pay, because बैंक मुझे पकड़ेगा, मैंने 3 महीने पहले पैसा ले लिया है. So this is, याद है ना SYGC. So I'll repeat, I get the bill discounted. 3 महीने के बाद my customer, my debtor will pay to the bank. मेरे डेटर ने पैसा बैंक को दे दिया, I am out, he is out. लेकिन अगर मेरे डेटर ने बैंक को पैसा नहीं दिया, मेरा बैंक मुझे पकड़ेगा, मुझे देना पड़ेगा. So ये amount, whether I have to pay or not to pay, I'll come to know only after 3 months, which in this case is after the date of balance sheet. So on the date of balance sheet, I don't know whether मुझे pay करना है कि नहीं करना है. So when I don't know whether I have to pay or no, it becomes a contingent liability. What is contingent liability? A liability which may or may not arise, and it depends upon happening of certain event. So that is my contingent liability. As I told you, it will not be a part of main balance sheet. Come to note number 14. Right there, we just copy paste करना है. Use the same words. Bill receivable discounted with bank. Discounted with bank. Write the same words. Not matured till the balance sheet date. Not matured till the balance sheet date. कितना है अमाउंट? 15,000. So write here 15,000. 15 plus 15, 30. ये नोट किधर भी नहीं जाएगा. It is presented below the balance sheet in the form of notes to accounts. Okay, it is presented below the balance sheet in the form of notes to accounts. Got it? I'll repeat again. यहाँ पे क्यों लिखा? अगर कस्टमर ने भर दिया, I don't have to pay. अगर कस्टमर ने पे नहीं किया, then I have to pay. Got it, guys? See, already it's almost 1 hour, and we are yet on the completion of the first sum. I'm going very slow. मेरे लेक्चर ध्यान से सुनना. You will not face any problem. Okay, guys. Now everything is done. Now what we will do? We will take the total of all the notes and shift it there. Okay. Now see, जिधर there is only one item ना, you did not take the total, उसको ऐसे ही छोड़ दो, चलेगा. If you want to take the total, take the total. अभी ये 920 है, लेना है तो ले लो, यही total रहेगा. So where there is only one item, even if you don't take the total, it's fine. Reserves 90 plus 1 lakh plus 10 plus 290, कितना हो गया? 490. 190, 2 lakh, 490. Debentures, only one item. Total itself is 3. Short term borrowing, only one item. Total itself is 2 lakh. Creditors, bills payable, 240 plus 30, 270. Other current liability, 6750. This is 2500. Now, tangible assets, 190. plus 3 lakh plus 45,000, 535. Okay. 190 plus 3 lakh plus 45,000, 535. Goodwill 65,000. Investments non-current 10,000. Security deposit 4,000. Trade receivable 690. Cash and cash equivalent 53,800. Cash and cash equivalent 53,800. Clear guys? Contingent का तो total ले लिया. Now what we will do? We will shift all of them in the main balance sheet. Let's take one by one. We have written right now till now only inventories. Okay? अभी देखो note 1 share capital कितना है मेरा total? 920. Authorized नहीं लेना है. Come to the main balance sheet. Share capital note number के column में लिखो 1 and the amount will be first column में 920. As I told you, many authors adjust in one column. I prefer doing in two columns for better presentation. Next, note 2, reserves and surplus. कितना है? 490. Come here. Note number में लिखो 2. कितना है? 490. Now what you will do? Share capital reserves का total will be shareholders fund. So 920 plus 490 will give you 14,10,000. This is the reason why I prefer two columns. Got it? Share capital note 1 920, note 2 reserve 490, total 1410. ये note क्यों लिखते हैं? Because ये share capital 920 कैसे आया? You have written your note 1. So break up note 1 में देखो. Reserve and surplus 490, note 2. 490 कैसे आया? Refer note number 2. As good as referring of working. Okay? Next. Long term borrowing, note 3. 3 lakh. In this sum, other long term borrowings, other long term liability is not there. So, my non-current liability is 3 lakh. Non-current is long term. You all know that. Okay. Next. Short term borrowings. कितना है? 2 lakhs. Current liability में. Short term borrowings 2 lakh. Note number 4. Trade payable. Note number 5. कितना है? 270. Other current liability. Note number 6. कितना है? 6750. Short term provisions. 2500. Note number 7. Okay, take the total. So 2 lakh plus 270 plus 6750, 2500 gives you 497,250. So 470 plus 6750 plus 497,250 plus 3 lakh plus 1410 gives you 2,207,250. 2,207,250. You can take the total later on also, no problem. Okay. So next, tangible. Note number 8. आ जाओ. Tangible assets. Put it in the first column. पूरा fixed assets first column में कितना है? Total of tangible 535. Intangible. Note 9. Goodwill एक ही है 65,000. Capital WIP not there. Non-current investments. Note number 10. Amount कितना है? 10,000. Long-term loans and advances. Note 11. Amount कितना है? 4,000. Other non-current assets not there. So 535 plus 65 plus 14, 6,14,000. 535 plus 65 plus 14, 640. Next, current investments not there. Trade receivable 690. Note number 12. Cash and cash equivalent. Note number 13. 53,800. Short term advances not there. Other current assets not there. And as I told you, contingent liability is just for presentation. It will not go anywhere. Contingent liability is just for presentation. It will not go anywhere. Okay, that's it guys. Chalo, let's take the total of current assets. 849,450 plus 690 plus 53,800 gives you 15,93,250. And let's check 15,93,250 plus 6,14,000 gives you 22,07,250. So my balance sheet tallies at 22,07,250. My balance sheet tallies at 22,07,250. Clear with this guys? See, the video is gone above 1 hour for just this first sum. Don't worry, because it's the first sum, I've gone very slow. And again I'm repeating, if you all don't know the format, please see those two basic videos and then come back to this sum. Okay guys, clear? That's it. Please watch the video once again. Zarurat pada to twice, thrice. I'm keeping more number of views for this particular video so you get the concept clear. Understand the concept. See how we have given the effect of 4 adjustments. Out of those 4 adjustments, almost all 4 of them were just for presentation only. Listen to the explanation. Listen how I have given the effect. Starting when I discuss the sum, how to make notes to accounts, how to decide how many lines. See that video carefully. See that information carefully. So in the next class, I can go at a faster pace. Don't worry. Next class may also, I will go in a very decent speed. And again, I will brush up everything. How to decide how many notes, how many lines to leave. I'll do that for initial few videos. So that's it guys. I wind up here. See you all in the next class with the next sum on final accounts. And before that, guys, please revise. Okay. Take care guys.